Welcome back, rodents.
Yeah, it's time for the only real deal episode that matters. The one full of jokes, the one full of death.
Whoa! Don't spoil the surprise.
Oh, yeah, I meant stuffed animals brought to you by United Airlines Taxidermy.
They're probably going to kill your pet anyways, so why go someplace else?
Of course, just look at all my new friends. They never leave me.
So, buckle those seatbelts, munch on those free peanuts, and get ready for takeoff because we're entering the Bermuda Triangle.
I think you mean the real deal starts now.
Welcome back to another Squawk episode of The Real Deal, Ball
Squawk?
State's premier entertainment news show, and the only show that uses the UML without permission.
Shh. Don't tell the feds.
We can only Naruto run so fast.
Hopefully we can make it out of this one in one piece.
Yeah, Angelo, I hope you don't have to pee because all of that punch.
No, Eli, no. I am a one-punch man.
What about our EP? I hear he's a real soul eater.
Well, you see, I have this death note ready if the time arises, but right now we've got to pass it up to Tyler Landis with his top 5 animes. Tyler?
Anime. Do you hate normal, boring animated shows like How I Met Your Friend's Chris named Raymond, who has The Boss and Taco King? Looking for something new to fill that void of soul-crushing agony and depression? Ha! Anime. Tyler from The Real D here to tell you about a fantastic top 5 anime list. All other anime lists suck. Anime. You heard about the bees and their knees? You know it? Yeah, bunch of fairy tale stuff, anime. If I made an anime list, which I did, then here's what I'd be on it, okay? Anime, that's which it is. You ever seen anime? Let me tell you, folks, anime. Number 5 is an anime about like pork. Yeah, lots of fan service in this one. And it's also about stuff. It's back at the barnyard. It's about a noble barn in a yard that travels back in time to fight the Nazis. Simple premise with perfect execution. My favorite thing about this anime is the utter chaos. Utter chaos. You get it? I crack myself up. The leader of the barn is a young giraffe named Marty, played by Ben Stiller, voiced by Jada Pinkett Smith. He is courageous yet cowardly, brave yet timid, cool yet not cool. You know, the perfect mix of nothing. After murdering his father, he must redeem himself by eating a lot of pudding in war-torn Germany. Did you forget this is about Nazis? Well, don't, because that's super important. Anyway, this anime is good or whatever. Anime 6 is House Hunters International. This anime is full of passion and blood-soaked violence. After years of being homeless, a young realtor gets jealous of home people, so she decides to slaughter every living human on the face of the earth. She does, the end, moving on. Number D puts the D in declassified. D. It's Ned's Declassified, the only romance anime on this list, full of anime, and the very first and only romance anything ever made ever. Starring Jennifer Aniston and Christopher Walken, they play Jen and Chris. These two have such chemistry on screen, and I've heard rumors that their love continues off screen. I stalked these two for several days, surviving on bread, water, and Captain Crunch. What I learned from my time watching them may shock you. They're lizard people. Okay, lizard people who eat actors. The two of them discovered this when trying to eat each other. When they found this out, they put their differences aside and discovered love conquers all. Real, touching stuff, folks. Glenn Martin DDS is not an anime. It's a way of life. And also an anime. It's moral oral for cultured people. Its existence is greater than the existence of pasta. Dentistry is an art form in which birds and children sing in harmony, crying out upon the demon babies of squalor to reach new heights of untold riches and power beyond this ethereal realm. Glenn Martin DDS is the turning point in which man shall fall and the reign of the Jabberwocky shall begin. Don't look on in sadness, look on in triumph, that we as a human race created something so perfect that it will overthrow us and will result in our total annihilation. Glenn Martin DDS, it's an anime. Now, number 1 is backgammon. Wait, nope, that's not right. Who put that in the prompter, all right? That's not right. Backgammon's a terrible anime, all right? Madison probably put that in the prompter. She hates, animagus like Pokemon, Yuri on Ice, Sword Art Online, Naruto, One Piece. No, my real number 1 is, look folks, if you don't know what it is, then you're clueless as a bagel on a beagle. It's Cory in the house. I mean, come on, people. Need I say more on the matter? It's Cory in the house. Good golly, oh gee, oh my. After coming home from his time in the war, Cory finds out his wife has been sleeping with his dog. Cory does the only logical thing and overthrows the United States government. Sadly, this does not fill the void in Cory's heart, so he blows up a few planets, bada bing, bada boom, discovers life among the stars. These new extraterrestrial life forms don't take kindly to Cory's attacks, so he slaps the goodness out of these aliens with his unpowdered, closed-palmed backhand. The aliens realize that the power of Cory is too much, but Cory ain't playing that weak boy stuff, so he decides to kill all the aliens, and then kill everyone, and then eats the universe, and finally faces off against that mean doggo from before, and then their fight ends in friendship. For Cory's wife ran off with the mailman, and everyone knows that the mailman is bad news, so Cory and the dog decide to get a house together, and that's why it's called Cory in the House. These anime are fire, folks, and I highly recommend you check them out for yourselves. But if you don't have an attack stat of 9,000 or higher, you may not be able to handle it. Well, that's going to do it for me. I've been Tyler Landis, and I always will be. Be will always I, and Landis Tyler been I've. Me for it do, gonna, that's well. Back to you, Drew.
Thanks, Tyler.
I need bleach. Bleach for my eyes, bleach for my ears, bleach for my
Hello there, buddy. Yes.
What I was gonna say is abdomen. But what I really meant to say was we need to reveal the truth.
Oh, no.
That's right, here in all of its glory is the 26th and climactic final episode of The Truth.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ruth the Tea, where Ruth the Grandma comes out here and gossips. Now, Ruth the Grandma's in my car in my truck, so I forgot, so we're gonna have to do a quick edit here.
No, it's the tea Ruth.
The tea Ruth, the Truth? The truffles? Wait, hold on.
I got you.
So draw an arrow going this way. Yeah, point. Yeah, okay. So right there, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so now hold your arm at the end. The truth. You have to put them together. This is the truth. No. Okay, so try putting Ruth here. Ruth. Now, do you know truth? Welcome to the truth here. Where we Tyler Landis just said something. This is. This segment, we used to pretend that this wasn't targeted harassment against Tyler Landis, but it's kind of undeniable now, so I'm just going to say it. This is how we bully Tyler Landis and we keep him in his place. Bye, everybody. Finale, goodbye, everybody. Because we're going Hollywood. We'll let you know when we finally do go Hollywood. But basically, Tyler Landis just came on here and gave an anime ranking.
This is Tyler. He got that funky hair that Tyler has. He used to have a beard, but I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
Tyler.
What's his last name?
Anime.
Tyler Anime. Just came out. Tyler Laminate actually came out here and gave an anime ranking.
Stars again.
And we thought that he kind of screwed up a little bit. He forgot something very important. Quick before we
What was his list? What's his list? His list was number 5.
Number 5, Pokemon.
Number 4, I remember, was American Idol.
Ryan Seacrest is a top 5 anime villain. That's something to acknowledge. Number 3 is Modern Family.
And then I thought it was very weird how his list just had a number 1.
There was no number 2.
Number 2?
What's the 2 Ruth?
National Treasure 2.
National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. Tyler Landis is a big Book of Secrets book. It's all of his photos.
Secret is number 2?
Yeah. So that's the conspiracy. So National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets is his number 2 anime. It was K.O.D. We read between the lines.
And then his number 1, of course,
yes,
was Sesame Street.
Sesame Street Best Anime, which is normally a decent opinion, but he failed to mention the #1 anime. Quick shout out before we really get going here. The best song of all time is Redbone.
Redbone! The theme song, of course.
To the anime we're about to describe. So the #1 anime, in our opinion, is Mr. Meaty.
Mr. Meat.
Mr. Meaty. Okay, can I see that real quick here? I'm gonna draw Meaty. Okay, so I have a chart here that I'm
The
gonna
marker
draw.
isn't really working. When are we gonna do one?
This marker's not working? I wonder why.
Nope.
Okay, so that's okay. So I'm going to draw a quick diagram here. So Mr. Meaty, it has plot and action.
And rhythm.
No. Not rhythm. There's no rhythm in this one. So I'm just going to circle these two elements. And then here's Meaty down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to draw a line just so they know that plot and action are associated with Mr. Meaty. And then I'm just going to... Hi, everyone. So as you might have seen, I was unaware of what I was drawing. I was caught in the moment.
I don't think you did anything wrong.
Okay, I don't think a lot of people did anything wrong. Like Casey Anthony's mom. And that's about it. So I want to apologize for the inappropriate image that I created in the euphoria of talking about anime. We have a consolation prize, of course. This is a character from Mr. Meaty. His name is Artemis McSlime. Artemis McSlime is the most important Mr. Meaty. He's the #1 meat.
Listen, he's the #1. And if you think #2...
Who's the #2 Mr. Meaty? Hi, everyone.
Okay, for real this time. We're actually
we
very
got it.
sorry. Won't do it again. That was
We
too
hate
kind.
to be inappropriate here.
Second time.
So, let me just draw a chart for where Angelo and I are right now.
This is our apology,
So, yeah.
please. Just,
So this is these two are. This is Angelo and this is me.
can I do a little?
Okay.
I'm a little.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little taller than I am. This is the line that we crossed.
Let's cross it.
This is the bad joke that we made. And these are all the people we offended in the middle here.
The curious thing is that these erratic behaviors, they lash out upon everyone.
Yes, they do.
And honestly, I think it makes a really bad thing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, this is negative energy going towards
And it manifests
here.
itself,
Yeah,
really.
this is hate, and this is anger, and this is the top of all evil, and it's just spewing out. You know, sometimes where you and I are, it can get a little stuffy.
Guys, come on.
That looks like the interactive buddy from Addicting Games. You ever play that? You good?
Yep.
We just got hit with an FCC claim.
And they're suing us for millions of dollars. So the real deal might not be on TV next season, which is okay because I'm graduating. So like I don't care about any of these people, and I never did. But like
While you do the outro, I'm gonna draw a picture.
oh please don't.
So please just.
If I could cut this out before he draws a picture, please.
Thank God that's the last one. I thought I would have to get United Airlines taxidermy to stuff me.
Oh no, the truth isn't going anywhere. We got picked up by TLC, we got picked up by HDTV, we got picked up by TBS, CNBC, to FX, XXXXXXXXX.
Great, something else to dread.
X.
X.
What, you mean like our impending deaths? You know what the Mayan prophecy says? We are the Mayans, and we are here to say the real deal hosts must die in a major way.
It's proven true the past few years. The Mayan calendar ran out in 2015.
In the meantime, here's a live performance by Grammy Award winner Rob Thomas, everybody.
Oh no, Angelo, we had to drop out at the last second. It was like 7 inches from the midday sun out there.
Oh no, but Angelo is his biggest fan. Who do we get to fill the hole in his bird-sized heart?
Well, we pulled Abby Perry from one of her finals and onto the desk while throwing DVDs her way to rink.
Oh. Take it away, Abby.
All right, I'm gonna rank. Oh,
It's like a nice little dispenser. I need that for final projects. So the first one is a cop dog. Cop dog. What do you think? You like it? You know, I like that the dog is not necessarily the main focus in this. They really want to emphasize the fact that he's part of the police force. So they make that more in the front. They really want you to know that the police are involved in this. Now, the dog is a little awkwardly placed. He kind of looks like he has a double chin. Not judging, but you know, we edit things for a reason. His paw is much larger than his body, which is very off-putting. I feel like we need to make it a little more proportional as I go back. His body does not look proportional either. So either they just had a rough time finding a normal dog, or they just had a lot of trouble with the editing. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one like a 5 out of 10. Is that what am I just, oh, there's another one. This one is Mega Snake. This one has, I'd say it had a lot of color, wouldn't you? Yeah, I don't like snakes either, you're right. So this one has a lot of vibrancy to it, just a lot of red and yellow. They made the letters gold with the red and yellow background, which I don't really know of how I feel about that. There's a lot of really scared people at the bottom. So if the movie's scary, they did a really good job. There's a city in the background, so we're assuming it takes place in New York, but if it doesn't, the DVD case is lying. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one slightly above Cop Dog. I think this one is maybe a 7. Yep. Oh, we got another one. Santa Claus. Not the one you're thinking of, but a really obscure one. It says the children of Mars want Christmas too. Do they? Okay, Martians kidnap Santa Claus. Wow, what a winning movie. This one, they did green and red, which I kind of like because it's a Christmas movie, I'm assuming. Could be some sort of sci-fi film. Starring all people I've never heard of in my life. Never heard of the movie, but there is a small child that I think he's supposed to be from Mars. I don't know if you can see him, but he's just wearing a little helmet with some antennas on it. And just for that, I'm gonna give this one a 9. I think this one tops the other two. So my ranking as of now is Santa Claus, Mega Snake, Cop Dog. Oh, we got more. Eggs 101. Eggs 101, which is a video project from PBS. I'm assuming it's teaching you about eggs. I don't know why we need to know so much about eggs that we've made a movie about it. But apparently it seemed important enough to make the most boring DVD case I've ever seen in my life. It is literally just a couple shades of blue thrown together with a couple pictures I'm assuming are from the movie, highlighting a couple chickens sticking their head into some feed, which I'd be lying if I said it wasn't funny. But this one is probably a 3. This one, it has no lust quality to it. I don't feel this case. You would agree? Oh, we got one more, I'm assuming, I hope. Moo is the next movie. This one is a cow that, once again, we got some unproportional animals. We need to address this. If we're gonna have DVD cases with animals on them, we need to make them proportional. This is unrealistic. His nose is larger than his entire body. I'm assuming. You can't even see the rest of his body because his nose is so large. Is it called a nose on cows? Is it a snout? I think it's a nose. 6 utterly hilarious videos for your youth group. That in itself gave this a 10. I don't care about the unproportional animal. I don't care about the boring background or even the title. That catchphrase gave this a 10 out of 10. 6 utterly hilarious videos for your youth group. If you're in charge of a youth group, get this. 10 out of 10. I haven't even seen it yet. So that makes Moo the winner of today's ranking. The other ones deem unimportant compared to this one. We don't even need to readdress them. Get yourself Moo. Would you agree? Yeah, me too. Good job. I think that's it.
Beautiful, Abby. Thank you. I especially liked what you had to say about moo.
Ooh. Yeah, it was great. It was great. But we have to take a break so we can get back with some Candids. It's Dan J. Lo.
Oh, okay.
That was some poppin' cannon.
I don't know. I said I wanted something a little more dramatic.
What were you expecting, huh? Someone to keel over a fresh apple juicy juice?
You can't say that phrase anymore. Remember the incident? The ghosts of Host Pass have come to haunt us.
True. So let's just move on to Nathan Richard with his PSA on crack cocaine. Nathan.
Steven, I've had my eyes on you since you first hooked me with E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I know we've never had a close encounter of any third kind, but if I ever catch you at the terminal, you can always be my date to the prom. I know Ball State doesn't have a prom, but wouldn't it be an amazing story if you were my date? I've stayed with you through the fridge bombings and all of the kingdoms of all of the crystal skulls, and you've made the top of my list. I will duel who would stand in our way. You may be asking, what would we do the night of prom? Well, let me keep you posted, and hopefully you're ready because I'm making you player one, and our night will be lovelier than the color purple. The year is 2018. It isn't 1941. So we're first going to get some dinner while the amazing John Williams conducts a score from the classic 1998 movie Stepmom, starring Susan Sarandon and Julia Roberts. I know you weren't involved with that movie, but man, if that isn't such an epic score. After that, you can phone home and keep your lovely family updated on our fantastic evening. Then we would go to that old park down the road, and finally, we would go hit the dance floor. If you don't feel comfortable with it just being us two, just bring all of your friends, E.T., Indiana Jones, Bruce the Shark, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Ian Malcolm, the BFG, and Tom Hanks, because I bet they would all love to join us on our fun-filled evening, as long as you can be there. So please, Steven Spielberg, catch me if you can, and be my date to prom. It would make my special night, even better. I'm Nathan Richard, and I'll see you next season.
That was so sweet.
Agreed.
I hope he says yes.
Me too. However, we're getting closer to our second musical guest of the episode, the very famous J. Cole, everybody.
Yeah. Wait.
Answer your phone, it's ringing.
Hello? Oh, really? Okay. Well, it looks like the real deal will have no feature.
Oh, come on, he's Dr. Ronald's favorite.
I know, but this is the time we have an actual backup. The musical stylings of Rob
Thomas?
White.
I think he's half, actually.
Before we get any haters, Rob White was cool with this joke.
Yeah, so without further ado, here's Rob White with his review of K.O.D.
K.O.D. These letters are 3 out of 26 in the English alphabet, and these particular letters have certain characteristics that stand out to many people. That's why I took it upon myself, on behalf of everyone here, to fully dive into and review them for your entertainment. So let's begin. K.O.D. includes the 4th, 11th, and 15th track that are involved in the project titled The Alphabet, which was released way back in the day. Although they may seem to be their own collective, each letter is very distinct in their own way. Let's start with the letter K. Let's start with the letter K. K is one of the hardest sounding letters in the alphabet, with Q being a close second. K is a tricky one because sometimes you don't even hear it at all. It gets overshadowed by the slick letter N, so the knife would not sound like a knife, which actually sounds a bit more intimidating. Speaking of intimidating, if you gotta be careful when using the letter K. If you text somebody with this letter followed by a period, then you come across as an annoyed jerk. And if you put 3 Ks together, then you come across as a racist jerk. Despite all these complications, without the letter K, we wouldn't even have the 3rd best movie of all time, which is Kangaroo Jack. So I thank you, letter K. Next, let's talk about O. Everybody loves the letter O. It's very useful in expressing different things. There's Oh God, Oh Snap, O'Reilly's, and that just scratches the surface. I feel like it doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Other than you, O is the most underappreciated vowel of all time. It's one that everybody uses, but nobody really gives credit to. A, E, and I take all the credit. So what O is just a circle? So what it doesn't quite know what sound exactly it wants to make? It tries really, scratch that, it succeeds in being a very versatile letter, and I will debate you on that. And without it, we wouldn't even have Milk's favorite cookie, Oreos. So I thank you for that. Finally, there's letter D, the funniest and most immature letter in the alphabet. So immature and dirty that just saying the D or double D is problematic in 2018. But D brought us some great enjoyment throughout the years. There's Billy D, Damn Daniel, the DeLorean, and the name Darius. D has satisfied many people, but it also brings disappointment because if you see a bunch of them on your report card, then you're in bad shape. Despite this, D is important. I mean, it's a vitamin that comes from our sun, for God's sake. How can we not appreciate that? Overall, K.O.D are letters that we don't think twice about, but definitely need in our life. So let's say okay to the letter K. Let's say oh yes every time we see the letter O. And let's get some more D in our lives, huh? Oh yeah, and J. Cole's album was pretty good. That's all I have for this review of K.O.D. Until next time, I'm Rob White.
Thank you, R. I must say, though, E, I am more of an M fan myself.
Really? I like Q. It's underrated. It always needs a U.
Never mind. Actually, you know what? You changed my mind to P-L-U and G.
Well, I changed mine to S-H-A-M-L-E.
Okay, I get where you're going. Shameless plug time, people.
This week we have Noah Bullard with an impassioned plea for the state of Washington, Tiara Spells with her top 5 Marvel characters, and Parker Carlson with a meaty surprise.
We'll be right break after this back. Oh, my bones!
The new Super Troopers movie is out. There's lots of action, lots of humor, and lots of people being arrested. We here at The Real Deal have lots of experience being arrested. However, the producers decided that I had the most experience in police cars out of everyone on our staff. So without further ado, here's my top 5 police cruisers.
By the time anyone sees this, I will have already seen Avengers Infinity War, but right now, I'm counting down the days until I see it. I purchased my tickets like 2 weeks ago, and I'm super pumped and super ready. Last time, I did my top 10 MCU movies, which was fine, but this time, I'm counting down something a little different. Here's my top 5 list for Best Avenger by ranking of their toe.
I've had a few controversial opinions this year, mostly about the MCU and how it isn't good, and how I dislike Marvel movies. Well, it's time for a confession. I am actually in love with these movies. I figured that with the series hitting its climax with Infinity War, now was the time to come clean. I mean, how could someone not like these movies? It seems almost impossible.
Welcome back, my arachnids.
Now, we at The Real Deal obviously love investigative journalism.
And that's why Madison McGill has been living in the DreamWorks animation lot for the past 12 years to research the making of Boss Baby.
Wait, I was supposed to go to DreamWorks? Yeah, about that, I went to a Beverly Hills Home Depot, but not to worry, I still watched a baby succeed into the highest rankings of management. It's honestly not as hard as it looks, real simple. First step, all the baby has to do is be born. The top spot seems to be the home and garden section. Something about potted soil, the water helps the mind grow. Think something along the lines of a mandrake root, baby Groot hybrid. Then it's all about tailor-making him or her the best ensemble. I saw this be done from tearing down drapery to retailoring the purse dog clothing line. Once the baby is dressed in the highest fashion and can compete on the same level as Queen Bee and Robert Downey Jr., it's all smooth sailing from there. Make sure to feed the baby the best of the best Mott's applesauce, and give it swipe access to more than just the baby changing table. It'll get real angry if you don't. The best training comes from negative talk around the water cooler strictly at 4 p.m. Any other time is reserved for naps. And don't forget the instructional Rugrats films. Only serve lukewarm water or the baby gets fussy, because it's already beginning to show diva-like, boss-like tendencies. They'll whine and cry about the latest 16 and pregnant fiasco, because the last thing this industry needs is more babies. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Seriously, be careful, or the warehouse dog will come and eat the baby's mashed pears. And no one needs to see that. Baby food everywhere. One of the next and final steps is teaching the baby business, meaning locking it in the break room and making it watch that Shia LaBeouf Just Do It video over and over again in many different concepts. There's no room for shedding tears to mommy, like a bunch of crybabies in this business. Really, all the kid needs is the just do it attitude and the will and joy of belittling their employees. Which brings me to the next point. We all know children, they're brutally honest and killers of self-esteem. So to make a boss baby, one must dress them to the nines, hold them over the shoulder of the best employees, and scream bloody murder at them, creating an immense amount of nervous pressure until the employee breaks and the baby slanders them with how they're going to get nowhere in life because they're at a dead-end job and their dreams of winning a Pulitzer are crushed. But I'm not speaking from personal experience or anything. I can still see spit up running down their chin. Anyway, the making of a boss baby is nearly complete. There's a difference from the baby that smells like beef and the baby that's running a top functioning 5-star company. Give it a briefcase, doesn't matter what's in the briefcase, could be mom's milk and cookies, a nice Winnie the Pooh puzzle, heck, maybe even a taxidermy. Is this a pheasant? Pheasant. It doesn't really matter because the best boss baby is a boss baby with style. In retrospect, it's a good thing I didn't go to DreamWorks. They had it all wrong anyway. Storks delivering babies with pink hair. Come on, don't be silly. Everyone knows the best place to find a baby is in the Beverly Hills Home Depot. Some of the best boss babies came from there. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, let's just forget the Facebook fiasco, Joseph Stalin, the guy that led all his people to victory via Kool-Aid, Brandon Krakowski, and so many more. Really, all the greats come from this beginning. Talk about top-class investigative journalism. Am I right? So the next time you want your baby to become something, think about Home Depot. Think about Beverly Hills. Think about the well-being of America and create the best boss baby you can create. How do you think we all here at The Real Deal got here? I'll leave you to ponder that because for the last time, I'm Madison McGill, stepping down from head writer and moving up into the unknown. Back to you, Angelo. He shrunk more.
That's Madison. I'm not sure if it's Pulitzer Prize worthy anymore, though.
Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to not only Madison, but other seniors at the end of the year.
Yeah, here to talk about his future plans is Brandon Kaczynski. Brandon?
Yum, yum, my crumbly little pastries. I've entered my last segment, Wegment, to decree upon the millions of viewers at home my newest venture. I think all of the religions of the globe are special and pretty in their own light. But there's always something that's been missing whenever I walk into the big boat known as church. After definitely determining that leaving big lipstick stains on bald heads isn't missing from church, I turn to the other thing that I'm an expert in, ripped Australian actors. Yes, jacked men. Or should I say, huge jacked men. No, I'm not talking about the Situation from Jersey Shore. I'm speaking of the legendary, most excellent performer, the Badger himself, Senor Hugh Jackman. I've seen every single one of his motion pictures, from his Australian days and such features as, "Oi, that koala stole me can of Foster's. That's the Australian beer. Go find him and throw him on the barbie." 3, to Les Mis. Of course, he appears in my very favorite film of all time, Baz Luhrmann's Australia. Who can forget how Hugh and Nicole Kidman made the act of spooning applesauce on the cold, pointy Hugh Jackman nipples so beautiful? In fact, I will reenact the scene for you right now. "Hello, Hugh. It's me, Nicole Kidman, the lady who's married to country superstar Jackson Tractor." "Hi, Nicole. It's me, Hugh Jackman, the hunk with the claws." "Say, shirtless Hugh Jackman, fancy some wonderful, way too chunky applesauce be spooned onto your useless sweet tart nipples?" "Never mind if you didgeridoo, Kidman. By the way, kids at home, tell your parents that Russell Crowe was really great in Les Miserables. He's been really feeling down about that performance lately. Don't tell him he's better than me, though. I'm Hugh Jackman." Okay, back to my religion. Yes, future cultists of mine, the First United Church of Jackman will be established very soon. I don't have a permanent building quite yet, but for now we're meeting at the Waffle House in Anderson, a convenient spot for all to go and get waffles nailed into their arms. Jackonians, that's what we call ourselves, will gather weekly to join hands and praise Hugh Jackman for his handsomeness, acting talent, and his natural knack for being a song and dance man. Our organist, Frogger from video games, knows all of the songs from The Greatest Showman on the organ, and when his hands aren't in crippling pain due to his diabetes, he plays the most beautiful music. This music is pleasing to all Waffle House customers. After some light throwing ourselves on the ground in religious fervor until we bleed, every member of the church takes turns sitting on my lap, baby. This is where I whisper, "The claws hunk loves you very dearly," which serves as a beautiful reminder to everyone that they are loved by a higher being. After that, we become deeply, confusingly aroused by the footage of Hugh Jackman acting in the Australian company version of Oklahoma. Then we go back home to our wives and never hug or kiss them. The devil in our religion is Daniel Day-Lewis. Why is this? That oily charlatan stole Huey Lewis and the Jacks' Oscar for Les Mis from him. Daniel Day-Lewis thought it would be a good idea to play our greatest president, Cy from Gangnam Style, because all of the Academy loves Cy because he ended the Civil War and invented jetpacks. He played an unfair game and robbed Hugh of his deserved Oscar glory. I hate Daniel Day-Lewis and all of his holes. He lives in a smoky tar pit and he only eats Whoppers. I tell everyone in the church that if they do misbehave, they will be forced to spend their afterlife with a version of Daniel Day-Lewis that's always method acting as the part of Satan, which is worse than real Satan because this Satan's pretentious. What happens when we die and go to heaven, though? Well, I know personally. What happens is that you get to the pearly gates, which shine due to the millions of CD copies of The Greatest Showman hot glued to the gate. Gatekeeper Russell Crowe will ask who the greatest actor of all time is, and as long as you say Hugh Jackman, you get in. And when you get there, boy, are you in for a treat. Heaven is a gigantic skyscraper. Only all of the buildings were pierced onto a giant, billion-foot-tall Hugh Jackman that screams trivia about himself 23 hours a day. Because I'm a religious leader of his, I get a spot in his secret pouch. How do I know this? Well, I speak to him directly. After I take the magic pills the Australian government has me take for no particular reason, I go night-night for 40 hours at a time. In my dreams, a nude Hugh Jackman with another, smaller, less powerful Hugh Jackman standing on his ding-dong perched approaches me. The smaller Hugh whispers incredible things. Buy The Greatest Showman soundtrack again, you freaking pig. Send Daniel Day-Lewis your own severed fingers in the mail so he knows we're after him. Come to the kitchen. Mommy made your favorite, Dino chicken nuggets. These are all beautiful pieces of wisdom Hugh Jackman has given me. At the end of my slumber, Dream Hugh Jackman cuts my head off with a karate chop. What are my goals with this church, you freaky little deakies may ask? Well, I want to spread my message of peace, love, tolerance, and the fact that X-Men Origins Wolverine was good, and if you don't think so, you should be burned alive in a campfire in front of your grandma. Betty. We hold service every week, so come stop in the Anderson Waffle House to try us out. Okay, I'm thankful for my time at The Real Deal, mostly as an excuse to hang out with people who drive motorbikes and cuss. But it's time for this lonely cowboy to hit the trails and start the next chapter of my life. I hope our fans can join me in my path to spiritual enlightenment. Signing off, this is the greatest shaman, Brandon Krakowski. Thanks, guys.
I hate the circus.
I love the circus. Sometimes they let me into the big tent and let me play with all the starving animals once I feed them a carny. What's there to hate?
Well, all my friends used to be carnies, but then they just started disappearing miraculously. All that was left was a well-conditioned tiger hair.
Yeah, that sure is sad.
I just don't understand who could have done that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look into it. Too much pain. You know, we'll be right back after the break.
Was it you?
It's the end of the semester, which means it's time we finally get to the most important topic we've been ignoring all along. We at The Real Deal love all of our stiff but very much living and breathing animal friends. Each time we see Dr. Ronald's bright smiling face or Angelo's shining feathers, our spirits are automatically boosted. But I won't lie and say we love every member of this motley crew equally, because when it comes to talent, charisma, and most importantly, fighting ability, there is a clear winner. And the winner is Dr. Ronald.
What?
That's right, everyone. If Dr. Ronald and Angelo were to fight to the death, our favorite college-educated squirrel would come out on top.
What are you smoking?
First of all, a lot of squirrels have rabies. And according to the Mayo Clinic, rabies is spread through the saliva of infected animals. Dr. Ronald could easily use his rabies as a defense mechanism in a fight with Angelo. His hallucinations and hyperactivity would be maddening enough to ensure Angelo's violent and bloody end. One bite and the bird would... Okay, in the middle of writing this, I learned that apparently birds can't get rabies. So maybe my first point was quickly shot down, but don't worry, because I'm still very confident in Dr. Ronald. Because our beloved squirrel could use his speed and climbing skills to scurry up a tree, hide in the leaves, and observe, waiting for Angelo to fly by. Dr. Ronald would jump out of the tree and attack Angelo in midair, tackling his inferior bird body, and they would both fall to the ground. Dr. Ronald's superior muscle mass would crush Angelo into a crumbly bird pile. Angelo is nothing but a hack. Not only would he never be able to hold his own in a physical fight because he isn't strong, cunning, or motivated, he also has no other talents. Unlike Dr. Ronald, Angelo just sits there silently with no commentary to add to the real deal. Dr. Ronald is an inspiration to all of us aspiring to work in the entertainment industry. He has interviewed celebrities, written screenplays, dated directors, composed movie scores, and more. He's worked with all the best of the best, but he still does us the service of appearing on our show. He doesn't have to be here, but he chooses to. He doesn't even get paid to be here. But Angelo just shows up for an hour of attention because he likes being on camera and getting his feathers played with. I may have said I loved him earlier, but I lied. Angelo sucks.
Sucks?
He sucks.
Angelo sucks?
He sucks.
According to thesaurus.com, I am baffled, confounded, astounded, and click here to see more synonyms at this outlandish claim against my client Angelo Azulius Birdington. I will have you know that I studied war strategies and espionage for 16 years while surviving in the Amazon rainforest, fending off jaguars and scraps while training under the watchful eye of my master, Sensei Doi Makoto. I didn't see sunlight until the W. Bush administration, but what I had seen were endless subjects that I practiced my lethal exercises upon, pinpointing pressure points that would render a human man bereft of life within a single light graze. Now you may remember, Eli, if that is even your real name, that upon one Hallows Eve, I was transformed, sorry for hitting the mic, into a very humble creature, the humble creature you see before you, blue-feathered with a come-hither gaze. Now upon separating myself from this vivacious fowl, I had a choice. Do I leave behind my humanity and take with me the skills of a bird, or do I leave this ravishing bird the way I found him? Well, I'll have you know, Eli, that as we were torn into two, one bird, one bony husk of a man, I left behind one important trait that made me me, and that is my knowledge of the ways to end a man's life in the blink of an eye. Now, my skills are limited to reading off of a teleprompter and naming which episode of Friends is playing by only seeing the cold open. However, inside of Angelo's chaotic id are the skills that I left behind. He knows how to strike, when to strike, how to leave no evidence, and to make it look like it was some kind of shaving mishap. Okay? Now, let me make this clear. Let me make this clear for you guys. Once you see those sapphire wings reflecting moonlight in the distance, it will already be too late for you. Dr. Ronald will hear nay but a trill before his life flashes before his eyes, forcing him to relive the days that created that broken squirrel we see today. The lonely doctor, heightened only by the pedigrees of his academic merit, the titles that make him soundly sleep at night, fending off the memories of how he left that beautiful possum behind at the airport. You could have stayed with her, Ronald. You could have had a beautiful family, a daughter named Annie, a beautiful newborn son, a comfortable job at your stepfather's tire shop. But no, you had to have that internship. You had to go become the hotshot, Ferrari-driving, crack addict husk that you thought your mom wanted you to be. Where does happiness lie, Ronald? Is it with the comfort in your secure bank account and your endless supply of white powder? Or is it with the sweet embrace of someone who loves you at night? Do you even know what love is, Ronald? Do you even know what love is?
Do you know what love is, Ronald? How about we call it a draw?
Yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, we really are going to miss our seniors.
Yes, we are, but we want to hold on to these memories forever, so we enlisted the help of our sponsors, United Airlines Taxidermy, to stuff our current EP, Brandon Krakowski.
No, now I am truly just a lonely pilgrim.
We made it, Eli! We did it! The Mayan prophecy's broken! Yeah! So if you want more from The Real Deal, check out our websites, Facebook and Twitter pages for news and updates on all things entertainment. I'm Angelo Oriema.
And I'm Eli Brentman. We'll see you next year.
Season
as
13, baby! We did it! We made it! Season 13! Cheers to 13 all the credits, everybody! We did it! Yeah, we're alive! Woo! This one goes out to the animals! It goes once, yeah, it goes twice! Season 13, baby! Woo! We did it, yeah! Looks like we made it! Brayden's dead, we did it, yeah!